Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Let's see. Yo, what's going on, guys? What up, what up? Yo, what's up, everyone? What's up, what's up? Just give a few minutes here to let some people join, let some people get in here. How's everyone doing today on this Sunday? And where are you guys watching from? I would be interested to know as well. What's up? Clean beard, homie. Canada, sweet. AB, is that, this is gonna probably sound so stupid, but is that Alberta? Or I don't know where that is. Love the vids. Appreciate you, bro. Doodle Noodle, that's a sick username. I fuck with that. Yeah, Alberta, that's what I figured. Papa. You ever cut a session short when you simply are too beat down to be able to put in quality sets? Yes. Most people would probably consider that to be, I think most people would probably consider that to be like, being a pussy or whatever, or taking the easy way out. But I think that that's being smart and listening to your body. If you know for a fact that you are unable to put in quality effort towards the end, then yeah, that would definitely be okay to do that. Really, Papa, Alberta is the oil capital of Canada. If I'm eating low cal and weight isn't going down, what should I do? Maybe stay the course. It could just be water or something. But if you're eating low calories for an extended period of time and your weight still isn't going down, then you're not in a deficit period. So you may need to eat less. That's just kind of the name of the game. Why does my head hurt like crazy on leg press? I got a crazy story for this. I see colors and feel blood rushing to my eyes. So most of the time it's going to be like a compression headache type of thing where you're like bracing and you're holding a lot of pressure and it like comes into your head. I have a really crazy story about this. One time I was training at one of my gyms, and they had, this was years ago, it's probably 3 years ago, and they had a vertical leg press. So I would assume that most of you guys know what a vertical leg press is, but if you don't, you're pretty much laying on your back and your legs are pressing straight up in the air. And I went for a rep, and I I braced with my head, and I felt like this pop in my ear. And when I finished the set, I stood up, and I had blood and like liquid and shit like that was coming out of my ear. So I was like, holy fuck. And my mom is actually an assistant for an ear, nose, and throat doctor. So I was like letting her know, I was like, did I fucking rupture my eardrum? Like, what the fuck happened? And she's like, well, just like kind of see how it feels like in the morning. And it didn't really hurt. And I just had like some fluid and stuff that like came out of my ear. And man, it felt like I just had like water in my ear for like a couple days, but eventually it went away. But for a second there, I thought I fucking ruptured my eardrum from like bracing like that on a leg press. So head obtainer, I think you just need to like really focus on like your breathing rhythm and your bracing. And I mean, and even with that in mind, like to a certain extent, if you're putting in like real high level effort, especially on an exercise like a leg press, like that it's just kind of part of it where you kind of get some exertion headaches. But obviously make sure that you're like hydrated and everything too, but there are some things that you can do to kind of prevent that from happening. What's your take on communism? So I don't really have a lot of rules for my lives and shit, but one of my few rules is that I won't talk about politics. So it's not important. What do you listen to in the gym? I listen to a couple different things. Some days I'll listen to metal. Some days I'll listen to like techno, like club music. Most of the time I'm listening to something like club music or whatever, like that's more like upbeat, like dance music, electronic type of music. Something that's like, I like music that has like a good like rhythm to it. Like, I don't even know if that makes sense, but like music that has just kind of got like a good like upbeat type of flow, pace to it. I don't know. Sometimes I really like metal and stuff, and sometimes like, I don't know, not every time that I'm in the gym I'm like angry and like need to listen to metal and shit, you know? And so like sometimes I listen to metal on a day where I'm like calm and I'm like, this shit is stupid. So it just kind of depends. And sometimes, this is crazy, this may blow some of your guys' minds, sometimes I just listen to white noise. Like I have a Spotify station that just plays like 4 hours straight of white noise. It's like a fan, like it, you know, it's just this ridiculous white noise, and sometimes that's all that I listen to. It just completely depends. Some people think that's probably fucking psychotic, but some days I like to train in complete silence, as crazy as that is. Got any advice for someone who worked out 6 days a week for years but can't get back into it? Yeah, start with just hold yourself accountable to going 2 to 3 days a week, and then once you can do that for a month or so, maybe 2, then I would try and bump it up from there. But obviously at one point you were working out 6 days a week for years because you enjoyed it, and so obviously you don't do that anymore because you don't enjoy it. I mean, this is like really cliche, but it's one of those fucking things where like if it really, you know, is important to you, you'll find time to make it happen. So just hold yourself accountable to going 3 days a week and then build up from there. 3 is going to be better than 0, which is what you're doing right now. So at what point did you drop the squat, bench, and deadlift, and why, assuming you ever did? Really good question. So I have a lot of experience with squat, bench, and deadlift. So I started, sorry, I have to address this. How many ball hairs do you have? Only the left side. This is like question of the fucking year. This is awesome. Sorry, Whoosh, but that comment was like so funny that I just like could not answer yours without addressing that one. What point did I drop the squat, bench, and deadlift, and why, assuming that I ever did? So, as I was saying, I have a lot of experience with the squat, bench, and deadlift. I started working out in 8th grade for football, and it was not like, you know, I see high school kids now, and I see some of like the high school kid like programs and stuff, and looking back on it now, my football coach was also the strength, you know, coach, like the guy running the show there, and he was very, very smart, and we were running like legitimate like Olympic lifting programs in like 8th grade. So I squat, benched, and deadlift from 8th grade all the way through high school, which is 5 years, 8th grade, freshman year, sophomore, junior, senior. And then after high school, I wasn't working out at all. I didn't really enjoy working out. And then when I ended up getting back into the gym, maybe a year or so after high school, naturally went back to squatting, benching, and deadlifting. Really individually, barbell squat for me is like, not this. I mean, this is kind of for all three of the exercises. I don't really like them. Deadlifting is the only one that I haven't completely gotten rid of. I'm just not deadlifting right now because I'm squatting every 3 days. And if I was squatting every 3 days and also deadlifting, my lower back like could not handle that. And I did suffer a lower back injury early on in my bodybuilding like life or whatever, and probably it would have probably been like 2018 or something like that. Now, I suffered a lower back injury from deadlifting, of course, and so my lower back is like kind of fragile now. Like I have to really monitor how much I load my lower back, so I cannot deadlift and squat right now with the program that I'm running. But eventually, when I get down to the point where I'm training my legs every 5 days instead of every 3, then I will have a little bit more recovery time to be able to put a deadlift or a hip hinge back in. And I will do that when the time comes. But right now the priority is improving the legs, so the deadlift just has to take a temporary seat to the side, you know? Barbell bench was a movement that was always really difficult for me to progress. I was fortunate enough to never really get any injuries from bench pressing, but honestly, there are so many people that I've seen on the internet and know that have suffered injuries from the flat barbell bench that honestly, to me, it's not worth even attempting it, not even worth doing it. I would say if you're like a newer person to training, like you have to put in your time on the barbell bench. But like I said, guys, I've put my time in on those exercises. I have like 5 to 6, if not 7 years of actual training experience doing those lifts. So I've put my time in with those, and you have to put in that level of time to know whether they're good exercises for you or not. And I've put the time in and I know they're not, so I do other things. That was a long answered question. I got a couple questions I need to catch up on here. Do you know your max SBD numbers? I legitimately do not. We very rarely did 1 rep maxes and stuff in high school. We would maybe max out like maybe once every like 2 or 3 months. It was very, very rare. We were doing a lot of triples and a lot of sets of 5 and stuff like that. So I don't know my max numbers, and I was never really somebody that really gave a shit about them. So let's see. I recommend System of a Down. Trust me, I got some of their music on there. Thoughts on the creatine shortage? I mean, it's I work at a GNC, so we're getting our ass kicked with it. Can't get creatine, but I mean, you can still find it. I'm pretty sure you can still find it on Amazon. I'm on Amazon right now. Let me look. But honestly, man, I would say probably just get used to it because I don't really know how much this is going to change, you know? Wow, this shit is expensive. Yeah, this shit is really expensive. Obviously, I get all of my stuff through the store because I am an employee there, but I had not seen what the prices were on it on like Amazon. They're still pretty fucking expensive. So I just did cardio after hitting a push session today. I did cardio for 30 minutes straight. I assume you mean nauseous. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. Maybe you're sick. Damn, 86 people in here live getting more recognition. Yeah, I hope so, man. 86, that may be a new PB for me. 86. I don't know. Honestly, as ridiculous as this sounds, like I don't know if I really care. Like there could be 5 people in here, but if those 5 people are like asking really good questions and keeping the conversation going, then I don't really care about the numbers a whole lot. But it is cool to see that recognition is that I'm getting some. So that's awesome. Appreciate everyone watching as always. You guys know I'm very thankful for you guys. What's up, man? How you doing, John? Hierarchy, how you doing, bro? Well, it's Sunday afternoon. It's like 2:20 in Chicago right now. Woke up, did some laundry. I just finished editing. Actually, this will be cool that you guys are watching. Let me flip my camera here 1 second. So as I am doing this live, sorry guys, I am like all over the place. As I'm doing this live, I am rendering a new YouTube video. So that's what I spent this whole morning doing, was editing that. So I probably spent the last hour and a half or so editing that video. So that will be up on the YouTube channel, I don't know, sometime early this week. As usual, I'll post a video when it goes up. The Ukraine situation is really fucked. Yeah, it really is. I'm glad you said that, because I was this morning when I checked, I had heard that Russia and Ukraine had agreed to meet on the border of Belarus, but I haven't really, like I said, I was editing all morning, so I haven't really checked to see what has happened since then. But yeah, dude, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, so it looks like that is still like happening. That they're still either talking right now, or yeah. From the media, it appears that so someone will have to clarify this for me, because like I said, I haven't really been paying a ton of attention to this the past couple days, but it kind of appears that Ukraine is like holding their own, from at least what I've read. I don't know how much is fucking true, because the media, I mean, who the fuck knows what's really going on? You trust the fucking media. What's the difference between a high volume workout and a high intensity workout? Intensity and volume are 2 different things, man. Volume is the total duration of exercise and the total workload, and intensity is the level of effort for one individual set. You may have answered this question, but why do you do 1 set per exercise? Any reasoning? So I don't always only do 1 set. The exercises that are really fucking hard, yes, I only do 1 set, because I put so much effort into that 1 set that once you put that level of effort into a set, you cannot do it more than 1 time in an exercise. So in my opinion, on certain exercises, training at maximum effort more than 1 time is redundant. It just causes more fatigue than it does stimulus. And then from there, it's just about progressively overloading. It's a long-winded topic, but it's also very simple at the same time. Right now, I'm combining powerlifting and bodybuilding. I'm 16 and in the gym for 3 to 3.5 hours, dude. That sounds like it sucks. That would just suck. I mean, I love the gym and I love training, dude, but I don't want to fucking be there for 3 hours. Damn, dude. You do what you want to do, man, but that sounds like it sucks. What are your thoughts on a 4-on, 1-off split? I think it'd be fine. All splits work as long as you stick to them. How you been, bro? Hamza, I'm good, man. How about you? How are things over in the Middle East right now, Hamza? I bet it tastes like cinnamon. Can you make a collab with no hands, boy? Nasty as shit. I'm dropping 3 pounds in a week. Is it okay? I mean, if it's happening every single week, that's probably pretty quick. But if it's like 1 week, usually the first week of a diet or so, I'll lose like 3 to 4 pounds in the first week. It's a lot of it is water. But if I'm losing 3 to 4 pounds every week, like, yeah, that's pretty fast. I'd probably slow that down a little bit. Do you go live nearly every day, or do you just wing it? I don't go live every day, that's for sure. I try to go live 2 to 3 times a week, and I try to have at least one time where it's scheduled. I didn't really plan on going live today, but as I've said a couple times now, I spent this morning editing some content, and I didn't plan on the content like taking as long as it would take to render and finish. So I'm just kind of in this like weird gray area where I got some time and I'm just trying to kill it. So I figured I'd just hop on here. So most of the time though, I just wing it, but I do try to have times where I schedule it. Let's see. Sorry guys, I need to scroll back up and refresh these. Do you ever do any pump style training after your normal working sets in order to get some, I don't know, there's a second part here somewhere. Well, I don't know where the second part is, but pump style training, no, I really don't. I think the pump is a byproduct. Like I get a pump. Like I don't go into an exercise thinking like I'm going to use this exercise to get a pump. Like every exercise gives me a pump because I'm fucking squeezing the fuck out of my muscle. Like until I literally can't squeeze it anymore. You know what I mean? Like when you take a muscle to its like full maximum ability to where it just completely fails and stops working, like that muscle is fucking pumped, I don't think you need to necessarily do like specific training to get a pump. I think it can be beneficial, and I think as you get more along in your career, that becomes a reliable avenue to increase growth. Because there eventually comes a point where continuing to get stronger just becomes unsafe if you have competition like aspirations. So in that case, you would need to introduce like more voluminous type training. That's what somebody like Patrick Tuor does and has done with a lot of top level IFBB pros. Is he's taken a lot of guys like James and Ian Valliere who are just like ungodly strong, and just giving them another avenue in their training in order to promote growth. So, but I do not think that I am of the level of development yet to where I need to do a ton of that. I think I still have a lot of improvements to make on my strength. And so that's what the main focus is on. And that's what every single person watching this video should focus on right now. Just get as strong as you can. Bro, can you save some pussy for the rest of us boys? Jesus. It's this beard, bro, I'm telling you. Have you thought of hiring an editor for your YouTube? Hamza, yes, I have. Honestly, I kind of enjoy doing it myself, to be honest. And also, I like the fact that doing it myself doesn't cost me any money. But it's definitely entered my mind. When I prep, whenever that is, I would like to hire like a videographer and do like I don't want to say like a documentary like type series, but I want to do like a weekly series like leading up to the show that's like shot professionally. So that's definitely a goal that I have. But as far as like the YouTube videos and stuff, I kind of enjoy doing it on my own. That's part of the fun for me, is like making like when you spend a lot of time making a video and people tell you like, this is great, like that feels really good. Like the time that you put into it feels worth it. Boston Lloyd, rest in peace. Yeah, man, I saw that. Just fucking the past 6 months to a year has just been so rough for bodybuilding, dude. Just fucking rough. People are dropping dead left and right. I heard Russia is already in the capital city. Yeah, so from what I was reading earlier, that's what I heard too. But I've also read some reports that like the Ukraine has stood their ground, and I just read a headline that said that Ukraine has like a firm grasp on the capital. Again, disclaimer: I'm just reading headlines, and with the fucking media, you have no idea who's right and everything. So I'm just telling you guys what I read. So fucked up regardless. Ancillaries to reduce blood pressure. I don't know if you mean like ancillaries. A couple things you could go. The Revive MD blood pressure is what I use. I like that one a lot, and I have really good results with that personally. That usually will take my blood pressure from like 140 over 70 or 140 over 80 to like 120 over 60. So I use that when I'm on cycle. If you're not even using cycle and you have a high blood pressure, I would just talk to your doc about getting blood pressure medication. Maybe also look at an angiotensin II blocker like an ARB, like telmisartan. Those would be some good things to look for. Code snob. What pre-workout do you use? I don't use a pre-workout. Before the gym, I drink a 16-ounce bottle of water with 2 grams of sea salt in it and 2 grams of no salt with like a squirt of Crystal Light to give it some flavor. And if I need caffeine, I just take a 200 milligram caffeine pill. But I don't buy pre-workouts. I'm going to the gym 4 times a week. I usually go for 3 hours, but half of the time is swimming. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing different things, like I totally get it. I think you're kind of responding to what I said earlier, but going to the gym for like 3.5 hours and lifting would suck. Hey bro, I've been seeing your IG posts where you're dragging yourself to the gym, and I really relate to that. Yeah, dude, it's I think it's important for me to share that moment, because I think like if I didn't share those moments, I think that all of you guys would think that I'm like a fucking robot and I just like, day after day after day get it done. And I mean, I am that. I do get it done day after day, but there are also a lot of days where I don't want to fucking do it, but I make myself do it anyways. So the goal is the goal is that maybe someone can see that and hold themselves more accountable. So I thank you for saying that though, Cal 181. Thanks for that, bro. It's doing great. Sally got grounded from the gym for 1 week because of my damn teacher saying I talk a lot. Bro, I was definitely that kid in school. I was the kid that was always talking, dude. I feel that though. That sucks though, no gym for a week. That sucks. How do you deal with those days when you don't really need a deload, where life just gets in the way? How do you deal with those days even when you don't really need a deload, where life just gets in the way? Well, if you're feeling that way because of something that's like a life stress and it's not like training fatigue related. Okay, so like I'll give you 2 scenarios. Like there are 2 scenarios in where like I wouldn't want to go to the gym. One, I wouldn't want to go to the gym because I'm so fucking tired, because this like past however 4 to 6 weeks of training has been so good that my body is beat to shit. And then there's I don't want to go to the gym because I had a shitty day at work. Now, if it's the fatigue, like I don't want to go to the gym because my body is so fucked up, like you do need a deload in that situation. That is the way that you get rid of that. If it's one of those situations where I had a shitty day at work, so now I don't want to work out, in my opinion, that's kind of how can I put this nicely? I mean, that's not what you want to do. Like, that's a shitty excuse to skip the gym. Like, I think you need to hold your goals and hold yourself more accountable to that, and have more desire for your goals than to let something like a shitty day at work stand in your way. So I don't know which one of those you're referring to, but one of them is an appropriate reason to take time away from the gym, and one of them is not an appropriate reason to take time away from the gym. So one requires you to pay attention to your body and how good your body feels, and one of them requires you to just be a disciplined person and tell yourself, I don't give a fuck if you don't feel like going. Like, we have to go and get this done. So you got to kind of give yourself a pep talk some days. And that's okay, because if it was easy and sunshine and rainbows, everybody would do it. I love the way you work out, super slow and in good position. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Does working at GNC make you enough money? Well, define what enough is. I mean, I have a roof over my head. I pay my bills, and I, can get my groceries every week. So, yeah, it makes me enough to live the life that I live. But GNC is also not my only form of income, so keep that in mind too. Would hitting my side delts on leg day for 2 sets to failure and 2 sets on push day be good? It depends how much time there is in between the leg and push day, but yeah, that'd be fine. I do that. I believe Ukraine is holding their own in the capital. They drone striked about 50 tanks on the way to the capital. Yeah, that's kind of what I was reading, is that they're holding their own. Again, with the media, you're like, who's right? If I was living in Russia and I was looking at the media, they were probably like, Russia's kicking the shit out of Ukraine. It's all propaganda. That's what's so like fucking scary, is like, we only know what they tell us, and we have no idea if we can trust what they're telling us. How many sets do you do per week? I do like 6 to 10. You think periodization then deload is important? It can be. I guess that's how most training blocks will go with me, is as I get closer to the end, I try and add in a little bit more volume, see what I can do, but I don't plan to do that. If it happens because my recovery is good, then it happens. But I've also had training blocks where I just kept volume static the whole time. After the hour and a half of high intensity lifting, I'm mentally tired. Yeah, me too, dude. I just don't have... you can only really put that type of mental energy in for so long. Figured out how to get that ground turkey tastier. Yeah, so I had it yesterday with some... what seasoning did I put on it? I think it was taco seasoning. It was pretty good. And then I actually had turkey cutlets like probably an hour and a half ago, and I had that with lemon pepper. Both times I had it with some pasta sauce, and that was really good. So that seems to be like the saving grace for it. So been trying the Cho Con split. It's crazy the difference it makes. I don't know what that is. How to know when to deload. You no longer want to go to the gym. Your numbers are going backwards, or they're not going forward. You're having trouble sleeping. Your digestion is off. You have no sex drive. Just all of the signs that your body is tired and fatigued. That's how you know when you need to deload. Love your content. Thank you, bro. Thanks for the advice, bro. Really respect your work ethic and opinion on stuff. Thanks, man. I thank you for the question. Thanks for the good questions. You must be making a decent amount to be able to live in Chicago. Well, I don't live in Chicago. I live in a suburb of Chicago, but I mean, it obviously is not cheap to live here. But we also live in a 1-bedroom apartment. You know, I'm not like a fucking baller. But my girlfriend's also going to grad school, so it's like, you know, you just live pretty simply. Love your content. Thanks, man. I appreciate that, Ollie. Is doing 4x5 too much for dumbbell bench when you're doing it 2 times a week? What's your performance doing? Are your numbers going up? Are you getting stronger? If the answer is yes, then no, you're doing good. If your numbers are not going anywhere, then yeah, I would reduce that. What's your height and weight? I'm like 5'8", 5'9", and my weight this morning was 209.8. I think. Yeah, it was like 209.8 or 209.6. So I woke up to a new low on the cut this morning after going out to eat with my parents last night. Can you please make push-pull legs workout plan in the future? I don't know, man. I don't... that would be like... That would be implying that everybody can follow the same workout split, and that's just not how it works. So... The training programs that I make are 100% custom to the individual. So I don't there are, you know, there'll be a lot of people out there that'll make like a push-pull legs type of program, and one push-pull legs program, and sell it for however much money and try and get a bunch of people to buy it and make a bunch of money. But I wouldn't feel right about doing that, because I know that there's going to be a decent amount of people that buy that program that are not going to be able to follow it. So all my training programs are personalized 100%. So I probably won't do that. 49ers, sorry. Do you think things like fat-free cheese, keto bread, and low-cal stuff is optimal to curb hunger? It's fine as long as it doesn't ruin your digestion. And a lot of that stuff, if you overdo it, will just tear your stomach apart. So I think it's fine to use, but I think you need to have some self-control. The other big thing about this is that hunger is completely 100% mental. Like, no one, like, despite how hungry you may feel, like, no one is fucking dying of hunger in this country. Like, it's, and I don't care where you live, I don't care where you live. Nobody is fucking dying of hunger in this country. I eat 6 meals a day, and even when I'm starving, I'm like, holy shit, I'm starving, but like, I'm gonna eat again in like a fucking hour and a half. You know what I mean? It's like, it's all completely mental. Some people get hungry and they just like hyper focus on how hungry they are, and it just drives them mentally crazy, and they start doing all of this crazy shit to try and get rid of the hunger. It's part of the game. You need to be able to mentally handle it. If you can't mentally handle it, then this game isn't for you, period. So I think you can use it, but I think you need to have some moderation. How to know when to stop a cut. How to know when to stop a cut. Man, lots of things. When you're ready to bulk again. I mean, it's kind of personal dependent. Depends if you're talking about somebody with like a competition timeline, or if you're just talking about like a person going to the gym. Like when the person who's cutting decides, I don't want to cut anymore, that's when the cut is over. I'm gonna go to sleep for school in a bit. It's 11:40 p.m., bro. Hamza, thanks for checking in, bro. And I know it was a little late, but I'm glad that you stopped in regardless. Take care, man. Hope to see you in the next one. But I know I have enough muscle. It's just a mental block. What should I do? What are you talking about, Ali? What was the question? Let me scroll back, see if I can find it. Ali, I don't understand your question. you have enough muscle, but it's a mental block. What should I do? Like, what question are you asking me? Thoughts on Turk? I don't know anything about turkesterone. I get asked that question a lot, and I give the same answer every time. I have no idea. I've never researched it one bit. So I take steroids. So if I'm gonna fucking, put something in my body that's gonna make me grow muscle, it's gonna be something that's probably stronger. If it's legal, it's probably not that strong. I'll say that. And that, disclaimer, I don't suggest or recommend it, but if it's legal, it's probably not super strong. Otherwise, everybody would be taking it. There would be if turkesterone was like as good as steroids and like legal, like professional bodybuilders wouldn't be taking steroids; they'd be taking turkesterone. So, body fat estimation, I have no idea, not a clue. So as a deload, would you suggest go to the gym and keep it light or not go at all? It completely depends mentally on what you want to do. Some people, like, the thought of not going to the gym is like gives them crazy anxiety. If that is you, then go to the gym and do light workouts. But if you're somebody who, like me, like I can take a week off the gym and I'm like, fuck, like it doesn't bother me at all. Like then take a week off. They both accomplish the same thing. It's whichever one you prefer to do. What's your opinion on push A, pull legs off, push B, back ham off? Try it and see if you recover from it. I mean, honestly, guys, like these questions about like, what do you think of this split? Like literally every single split can work. Every single one. So I would just try it and see what happens. I think on paper, Bralo, it looks good. It looks good, but programs can look really good on paper, and then when you actually get in the gym, fucking turn out to be garbage. So just do it and see what happens. I just started tracking progressive overload. I feel I'm finally making consistent progress. Yeah, because you're not guessing anymore. A lot of people are just going into the gym and fucking winging it. And when you go in the gym with a plan and you improve on that plan week after week after week, it's very easy to build muscle. It's almost laughable how easy it is. And then you realize that like 99% of the shit people are asking and doing is they're just overthinking everything. Can looking puffy even in low body fat be held in water from carbs? Yeah. I mean, you could be retaining some water. Been tracking calories for a week now at 2,800. Lost 0.1 kg. What is 0.1 kg? That's probably like 0.2 pounds. That's probably like nothing. That's probably your maintenance then, African. If you really want to know, then do another week at 2,800, and if that causes the same thing, you only get a super small drop like that, like that's probably your maintenance calories. But what's your split these days? Legs push off, legs pull off, repeat. So I train legs every 3 days, push every 6 days, pull every 6 days. Walking to cut. Do you mean like getting steps? It's my preferred way to burn calories while dieting. I don't like to do like actual cardio on a cardio machine for fat loss purposes. I like to do it for health purposes, but not for like fat burning purposes. I would rather do steps and just walk around the block. It's a lot easier, especially when you're really lean. Like getting on the stairs and getting on the treadmill is like really fucking hard when you're peeled. So I prefer to walk around the block. Granted, walking is really hard when you're peeled too. So How often do you take a rest day? Every 2 days. I train 2 days, take a day off, 2 days, take a day off, 2 days, take a day off. What did you train today? I did not train today. I took today and yesterday off. Pretty tired this weekend, so I just took the weekend off. For health purposes, how much cardio do you do? I like to do like 20, I mean, the bare minimum that I would recommend is like 20 minutes 3 times a week. And then I like to do like HIIT cardio at least once a week, preferably twice. And the HIIT cardio can just be like 4 to 5 rounds of 15 seconds on, 45 seconds off, but that's entirely for health purposes of your heart. How many steps do you do per day? It depends. A usual like week for me used to be like 8,000 steps, but the past 2 weeks it's been like 13,000 because work has been really busy. So it kind of fluctuates, but on a normal time, like when work isn't insanely busy, it's like 8,000. You agree with the statement that biceps contribute to semi and not full supination? I mean, maybe. Like, I don't really know about like the exact specifics. I do know that the biceps secondary action is to supinate the wrist. I just don't know like at what point does that cut off. But if you're trying to relate it to lifting purposes, I don't really see a lot of situations where full supination is like ideal. Full supination is not like a natural position that a lot of people can go in. I mean, a lot of people can't like stand right here and completely go full supinated here. And then imagine like if they like grab onto a bar that's like forcing them into an unnatural position, and it just like beats the shit out of your elbows and your forearms and your wrists and everything. So if you want to relate that to training purposes, most of the stuff you're going to be doing in a semi-supinated position. So I don't know to what extent the fully supinated position is really applicable, other than maybe like a bicep curl. If I do a push-pull legs rest, push-pull legs rest split, is hitting the side delts on push and legs okay? Yeah, that'd be fine. Because you're getting a day in between. So yeah, that'd be fine. Tips for finding the weight that you can take to failure, for an example, for 8 reps, if you know what I mean. Just pick a weight and take it to failure and then adjust from there. So if you want to do a 10 repper and you put 2 plates on and you take it to failure and you get 15 reps, then you know that if you want your 8 rep max is going to be heavier than that. But there are no like calculators or anything where you just like you can put in your weights and calculate, oh, this is the weight that is going to be my 8 rep max. Just put a fucking weight on there and take it to failure and see what you get. And then next week, assess. Thoughts on tracking water? Hamza, I really only think it's applicable towards the tail end of like a contest prep. I do not track my water, but I do hold myself to like a minimum. Like if 4 to 5 liters is the minimum that I will drink. And then once I get 4 to 5 liters in, it's just like whatever. If I'm thirsty, I'll keep drinking. If I'm not, then I won't. But I always make a conscious effort to get like 4 to 5 liters in, and then everything else on top of that is fine. But I don't really think too much about it beyond that, unless I'm working with like an athlete for a prep where we have to manage like a body weight, a weight cut. How often do you work out? 2 days on, 1 day off. How much do you aim to gain or lose while bulking per week? Gain or lose while bulking. Well, while I'm bulking, I'm trying to gain like half to a pound per week. When I'm dieting, it depends. Sometimes I'm trying to be aggressive and trying to get a lot of it off, and sometimes I'm going slow. So it just depends. But usually when I'm bulking, it's like 0.5 to 1 pound per week. Ideally, it'd be more of like the 3/4 to a pound per week. I think half a pound per week is like a little too slow in my opinion. How to deload properly, dude. I've covered this so many times. Take some days off, go to the gym. Take some days off or go to the gym and just do lighter workouts for a week. That's the basic one. If you really want to know, dude, like scroll back on my videos. I've uploaded so many videos on how to do this. So many. What else you use? What about rings? What do you mean by rings? What are those? Do you track progress on every exercise, and can I just track progress on main lifts? I track weight on every exercise, and I recommend most people do. But if that's not something you want to do, then just track your main lifts. How much weight should I aim to go up in a beginner in a bulk? Probably like 3/4 to a pound per week. You can gain a lot of muscle really quickly as a beginner, so I would be pretty aggressive with your weight gain, assuming that you're training good. Rings, what people yes to. Cool boy, I don't even know what you're saying to me right now. Use to get strong. Oh, like the Olympic rings? Not for bodybuilding purposes. Not for bodybuilding purposes. I don't use them. Is any kind of sugar good post-workout? Yeah, as long as I don't think there's any reason why anyone should ever put corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup and stuff into their body. As long as it doesn't have that type of stuff in there, then that'd be fine. What music do you listen to when training? Most of the time, like techno music or like club music. Sometimes some metal, sometimes complete white noise. What did you say for my last question? Sorry, I lagged. What was the last question, man? How much weight should I? 3/4 to a pound per week. Get pretty aggressive with it. Don't fuck around. Can you get decent workouts with dumbbells and benches at home? Yeah, of course. Of course. I think rings make you stronger. I mean, I think they probably do, but for bodybuilding purposes, I don't think there's any situation where I would recommend you use rings. If you want to use rings, then use them, dude. But I am not telling bodybuilders to use rings. Have you built your physique on low volume training, or did you build your foundation on high volume? I've been training low volume for like 5 or 6 years. Actually, probably 4 or 5. I only had like 1 year of high volume training. And that 1 year, I basically built nothing. Thoughts on diet soda? I drink the shit out of it. I got a ton of it in the fridge. I probably have 4 different types of diet soda in my fridge right now. And I drink 1 a day for sure. Some days I'll drink upwards of 2 or 3 of them. So I drink a lot. Do you think classic dumbbell curls and hammer curls is enough? Yeah, of course. You can build biceps with 1 exercise. There's no limit on the amount of exercises that you need to build muscle. Do you let's see. Should you only worry about progressing on main compounds, or should you try and progress on everything, including accessories, everything? Think about the guys in your gyms that have the biggest arms. They're not still curling the 20-pound dumbbells. They're curling the 40s and they're curling the 50s, like everything. Do the biceps and triceps recover fast, therefore 3 times per week would be more optimal, or nah? I mean, you can do it. I find that the biceps recover faster than the triceps. The triceps take a little more time to recover for me. So biceps I can train pretty frequently, but I need to be a little bit more cautious about my tricep volume. Personally, I don't know if anyone else can attest to that, but over my years of logging my lifts, that's what I've noticed, is that my biceps recover a lot faster than my triceps. What do you think is the best exercise for quad growth, the one that you like the most and can get as strong as possible on? For me, it's a hack or a good leg press. Your gym is elite. I respect it. Yeah, I have some pretty good gyms, honestly. Would you still incorporate a shoulder press? I don't know. In my personal opinion, I don't think that a shoulder press is necessary for a lot of people, but if you like shoulder pressing, then do them. Do you only film your top sets? Yeah. I do not film warm-up sets because they don't fucking mean anything. They don't do anything for growth, so they don't count. The only sets that count are the working sets. When having 2 push rotations, would you have 2 side lateral on 1 session and 1 lateral, 1 press? No, I would. I'd probably have 2 laterals on both of them regardless. You need to keep in mind that even though that a lateral raise and a shoulder press are both shoulder exercises, they're not training the same muscle. Shoulder press is very front delt dominant, and a lateral raise is medial delt dominant. So one exercise doesn't necessarily take away from another one. For me, biceps recover fast, triceps take long to recover. I'm the same exact way, Tyrone. Same exact way. Do you like incline barbell press? It's okay. I don't really do a lot of barbell work anymore. I said gym bag. Oh, that's my bad, dude. I must have read your question wrong. Yeah, it's I mean, I just bought all that shit over the years, and next thing you know, you got a fucking bag that's full of shit, and you're carrying a gym bag that's got 10 pounds of fucking weight in it, which sucks, but I can take my progressions on anything at any given time, so I'm cool with it. How often should I switch exercises and or change my workouts? As little as possible. As little as possible, only when you need to. Would you count your pressing for shoulder volume? If it's a shoulder press, yes. Not a chest press. Do you incorporate back off sets and or feeder sets? Feeder sets, no. And then back off sets, yeah, I do back off sets on a lot of my isolation stuff. Maybe it's all because of my pressing movements. That's exactly what it is your triceps get the shit kicked out of them. Even on exercises that you don't think are tricep exercises, you're getting a lot of tricep stimulus. So your triceps are just kind of like constantly fatigued. Whereas your biceps kind of kick on a little bit during bicep work or during like back work, but not really a whole lot. Not as much as the triceps are. Do you progress on, how do you progress on dumbbell lateral raises? I've been at the same weight for 20 reps. I would build it up to like 25 or 30. So that's usually what I do, Tyrone, is like, if I'm doing dumbbell lateral raises with the 20, say I pick up the 25-pound dumbbells and I get like 15 reps, I'll stick with the 25-pound dumbbells until I can do them for like 25 or 30 reps. And then once I get to the point where I can do them for like 30 reps, I'll bump up to the 30s or to the next dumbbell up. And then I'll repeat that process. When I jump from the 25s to the 30s, my reps will drop back down to like 10 to 12 or something like that. Maybe closer to 15. And then I just build that one back up to a 25 or 30 and then repeat. If you can do one pair of dumbbells for 30 reps, you can do the next level up of dumbbells for a solid 15. So just expand your rep range a little bit. I can't move up to the next weight down. Partial reps. Yeah, partial reps are fine. I always do partial reps on laterals. How was your meal yesterday with your parents? It was great. Thanks for asking that, man. We went to a steakhouse and I got this big fucking fat 12-ounce filet, and then I got fries and mashed potatoes, and the fries came out in like this boat, and it was like a shitload of them. Potatoes were awesome, and then we got dessert. They brought out cake, and I got a piece of tuxedo cake, which was awesome. And then we went to a restaurant across the street and got a drink, and then I came home. So it was awesome. I hadn't seen my parents in a while. So, I mean, I talked to them regularly, obviously, but I hadn't seen them, so it was good to see them. Do you do cluster sets? Not usually. They're very fatiguing. What should I do if I've been stuck at the same weight in my main compound for 2 months? Swap it out, dude. 2 months with no progression is way too long. Swap it out for something different. Thoughts on stiff-legged deadlifts? I think they're great. I would much prefer a stiff-legged deadlift for bodybuilding than a traditional deadlift. I think the stiff-legged deadlift is going to be the exercise that will change your erector development the most. High volume training for 2 years, zero progress, started going to failure, crazy results in 2 months. Yep, I think it really surprises people. You also just got to remember that a lot of the people that advocate high volume training are just like genetic freaks. Those guys can do whatever they want and they'll grow. From an optimal standpoint, is a full squat better? Of course, yes. Yes, not even debatable. Full range of motion will always be better than partial. Should beginners train with more volume and lower intensity? Yes, until they, to develop the skill, to learn how to move, how to do their lifts. And then as they get more comfortable with their lifts, they can scale back on the volume and increase their intensity. Do you still incorporate hip hinges? I am not hip hinging right now because I'm squatting every 3 days. And if I was squatting every 3 days and also hip hinging, my lower back would not be able to recover from that. So I am, I'm doing I'm doing squats every 3 days because I need to bring up my quads a lot, and then once my quads get up to the point where I'm happy with them, I'll bring hip hinges back in. But despite the fact of me saying that, I've really wanted to do RDLs lately. I've really wanted to give them another shot, but I think I want to wait until I'm done dieting before I bring back in RDLs. So yeah, not right now, but I would like to. People really don't understand how fast muscle is built when really going to failure. Yeah, because you guarantee that it happens as deep as possible. I can't move up to the next dumbbell on bench press. I can do 55 for 10, but not 60 for at least 4 reps. Twisms, I answered this same exact question 2 minutes ago about dumbbell lateral raises. So you're on the 55s for 10. Don't even touch the 60s until you can do the 55s for at least 15 reps. So you're doing 55 for 10, and when you jump up to the 60s, you drop down to 4. So you're getting a huge rep drop. So don't wait until you get to 15 or 20 reps with the 55s before you jump up to the 60s. And then if you can do the 55s for 15, then when you jump up to the 60s, your reps are still going to drop. But instead of dropping to 4, they're going to drop to like 6, 7, or 8. And then from there, you can build that 6, 7, and 8 to a 15. And then just repeat. So and man, thank you so much again. Your content completely changed my physique. Greece from Vienna, Spain. That's awesome, dude. Sweet. Ollie, thank you for that, man. I appreciate that. Do you have a quad focused leg day and a hamstring focused one? Kinda. I mean, kinda. I guess it kind of works out like that, but I don't think you need to have that. How's the mini cut going? It's going good, Michael. I was saying earlier, probably like, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes ago, that I woke up this morning to a new low. I'm 209.8 this morning, so I think I'm gonna diet like another 5 pounds off and see what 205 looks like, and then at 205, I'll either decide, am I gonna go back up or am I gonna drop to 200, and then regardless of what I look like at 200, I'm gonna go back up. So it's going good though. It's going good. I think it's I've lost 16. Let me just double check before I start saying stupid shit. But I'm pretty sure that I've lost 16 pounds in like 8 weeks, 7 or 8 weeks, which is 2 pounds a week. That's great. So it's at this point it's probably not a mini cut anymore. It's probably been a little longer than what a mini cut would be considered, but I have no problems with it. So it's sad how people are making fun of optimal training and they don't even appreciate guys like you giving all this information for free. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I think most of the people that like talk shit about optimal training are just people that like have good genetics and just everything that they've done has worked for them. Whereas like someone like me, like, dude, I was training my ass off and getting fucking nothing, and I was like, why am I getting nothing? Like, so I had to start thinking critically, like, how does this actually happen? Not how does some fucking massive influencer on the internet tell me that it's supposed to go. So, yeah, so it's been about 16 pounds in 8 weeks. So, I have no volume right now. Okay. All right, guys. I'm probably gonna be on for like 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna dip. Vienna isn't Austria. Oh Jesus, dude. What did I say? Spain? Oh, bro, that's great. I'm so glad that I got that on video. That is fucking hilarious. No fucking way, bro. That is fucking hilarious. I am so glad that I got that on video. I'm going to show my girlfriend that later. She's going to laugh her fucking ass off. Oh, that's great. That is fucking awesome. I'm clipping that. I'm putting that up on the internet, bro. You guys are going to see that on fucking Instagram. How do your Zoom consultations work? So they're usually like an hour. It's usually just like an hour, and I just will just sit in a Zoom call, and I'll let you ask questions. And if you like, it's a time to get very specific. So you can show me exactly everything that you're doing right now, and I can give you feedback on it. It's basically your time. You're buying an hour to pick my brain live over a Zoom consultation. So it usually can get broken up into like 2 30-minute sessions, or 1 hour long session. It's entirely dependent on the person, but if it's for people who have like really detailed questions, basically. Best supplements for joint recovery. UC2 collagen seems to be the most important one based off of research. I think Boswellia has some stuff on it too, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But UC2 collagen is going to be the most important one. It's how you hear it. It's the letter U, the letter C, and then 2, the number 2, collagen. And I think it's like 40 milligrams a day or something like that. I got squats tomorrow. Pray for you. I'm praying for you, Charlotte. I'm actually hack squatting tomorrow too, so pray for me. Do you do semen retention? Shut up, bro. I'm running 1 cycle of Candido 6 weeks right now. Week 2 coming up. I don't even know what that is. I'm pretty big at the moment, and I really want to cut, but I still feel too small. Tips for that mental thing. So you're big but you feel small. I don't know, man. I think it's kind of cliche, but I think we're always gonna feel small. But just cut and get lean, and then get big again. I mean, if you're gonna get into bodybuilding, man, your life is a cycle of gaining and losing weight. So you're always gonna be doing one of the two things. So just I would just cut and know that you're gonna get bigger in the future, and just keep going. Understand that you're gonna be doing this for a long time. So I wouldn't think so much like in the moment. Can too much vitamin D make my muscles tired? Sorry for asking that. That's all good, bro. Too much vitamin D make my muscles tired. Well, I don't know like specifically about the muscles, but I know that you can get vitamin D like poisoning, or like toxicity, and that may be a side effect of that. But I'm not super educated on that. Depends how much vitamin D you're taking, I guess. How long does it take to set up a consultation? Usually what happens is you buy the thing, or you message me on Instagram, and we just try and find a time where it works. So it's one of those things where you buy and I contact you, and then from there we just try to set up a time. Additional body weight exercises at the end of my session. Opinion. I mean, you can do it. I don't think it's necessary unless you're doing that because you want to do them, then go for it. But I don't particularly see the need. Thoughts on main gaining, if you know anything about it. I think it's a waste of time. I think you need to commit in either direction. I think a lot of people will just try and gain muscle and lose fat in the same time. And I think what ends up happening with most people is they try for 6 months, and after 6 months they get fucking nothing. So I think you should just commit. Commit to a bulk, and then when you get too fat, commit to a cut, and then just repeat. I would rather, so like I'm going to use my screen here as like a timeline of the year. So what most people are trying to do with main gaining is they're just kind of trying to ride this like the whole year, like kind of stay the same weight, like maybe go up in weight a little bit, maybe go down in little weight. But for the most part, they're just kind of standing. I would much rather have a person have more of these where they commit to a bulk, commit to a cut, commit to a bulk, commit to a cut, commit to a bulk. I think the upward trend of doing this is upward. You're constantly going up and then down and then back up again, but you're coming back up a little bit higher than where you were before. So I think main gaining is a fucking huge waste of your time. Have you been delaying your cut? No, I've been cutting for like 7-8 weeks. I haven't been delaying it at all. I'm really having a hard time picking the best multivitamin. Any suggestion on what to look for? I don't really take a multivitamin. I think the ones at like GNC are fine. I think the ones that you can just get at Walmart, like Centrum, are fine. But I don't really take a multivitamin. Maybe I should, but I just never really found that it was something that like made or break me. If you could give a first-year newbie advice, what would it be? Learn how to train properly. Wow, this a fuck. What? There's so many things I could say. Learn how to train properly form wise before you start worrying about intensity and volume and any of that nonsense. When you get to the point where you're starting to train like progressively and actually like focus on getting stronger and getting better, don't be afraid to eat and gain weight and gain body fat. Like, you're going to gain muscle and body fat is going to come with it. So stop doing shit to avoid body fat, because you won't avoid it. It will get you. Just commit. As I said before, up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, that's how you do it. Facts. Chasing two rabbits, you'll catch neither. 100%, Sam. That's the perfect analogy. Is if you know, the main gaining thing is one of those things where it sounds like too good to be true, and that's because it is. Is an upper body workout better if you have 1 to 2 exercises per body part that you really like? I mean, if you're doing a full upper session, I would maybe just pick one. But I mean, yeah, I think 1 to 2 is fine. I try to do the least amount of exercises possible. Awesome catching you when you're live. Thanks, man. Need to sleep. Greetings from Spain. Bro, Ali, I can't even fucking believe that I said that, but I'm so fucking glad that that I got that on video. That's great. How long till you finish the mini cut so you post your physique? So I just said earlier, I woke up, I was like 209.5 this morning. I want to see what I look like at 205. And then depending on what 205 looks like, I'll either go back up from there or I'll cut to 200. And then regardless, no matter what I look like at 200, I'll go back up from there. So I don't know. If I cut to 205, it'll probably be like 2 to 3 weeks. If I diet to 200, it'll probably be like 4 to 5, if not 6. But don't know. Just finished my gym session and you're doing a live bonus. Yeah, and sorry to break it to you, Rory, but I think I'm about to get up on out of here. I've been live for like an hour, actually probably closer to an hour and a half now. But I'll be getting back to it. Yeah, true, because most of them are underdosed for sure. What's your favorite muscle group to train? I really like training legs. That's my favorite one. So, all right, guys. I'll use that as a good opportunity to kind of wrap this one up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Just kind of a spur of the moment Sunday Q&A session. Glad that you guys tuned in. While I was doing this live, I had a YouTube video that was rendering on my computer, and that will be a new YouTube video where I go over a grocery haul. So yesterday I went and I got groceries, and when I came back, I just kind of showed you guys everything that I bought and why I buy it and everything. So that will be uploaded to the YouTube channel sometime this week, earlier this week, either tomorrow, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I'm not sure. What else? As always, new content on the TikTok. I had a new video go out this morning for the cereal shake. That's doing pretty decent. Got about 5,000 views or so in the first couple hours of that one being up. So go ahead and check that one out. Take care, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. And I'll speak to you guys again sometime soon.